you think that, what does it take to be successful, Gail?
Hold yourself to the same standard you hold your kids to.
Hold yourself to the same standard you hold your kids to. So,
as the story goes, there was a miner during the gold rush days who struck it rich and had some initial success, but then the vein of gold just stopped. And he drilled and was looking for success, but he just couldn't find it. Finally, he gave up and sold his equipment and his land to a junkman. Well, this junkman was a little more persistent. He hired a mining engineer who came in, did a little bit of geological surveying, and found that that vein of gold continued just 3 feet from where the man had stopped digging. That junkman ended up pulling millions of dollars out of the ground. And the lesson from the story is, don't give up too early.
So you know what you do when you're in your early 40s and things are falling apart, you're having a midlife crisis, yeah, you go into therapy. So I went into therapy. We went into therapy. In the process of that therapy, though, although I went into it originally thinking it was all his fault, turned out that I had a lot of skeletons in my closet that I didn't know about. And I went back in time, as you do when you're in therapy, to discover that my family, when my parents had loved food, they had also loved alcohol even more. And it turned out that both of my parents were alcoholics.
I said, yeah, I gathered. And just as I croaked this out, the leaf popped up. And I looked down, and the leaf popped up again. And I'm thinking, I just resurrected a frog. And I was so excited. I mean, I was so absolutely, I felt like I was one with the universe and that God was looking just upon me at that moment. So I was so happy that I just let go of all my captives, even the nearly dead frog. I let them all go, and I ran to go tell the most spiritual person that I know, and that was my grandmother.
So when people say to me, did you regret marrying him? The obvious thing is I have 3 amazing children, so no. But here's what I started realizing. I'd be like, why are you asking me that? You know, I married him, good things came out of it, bad things came out of it. And they're like, but if you had known, would you have married someone different? And I thought about that. And on the way to my bridal shower, he had actually stopped on the Don Valley, and he was so angry at me, he told me to get out of the car. And I refused to get out of the car. And we ended up at the bridal shower, and I remember walking through the door, and it was a surprise bridal shower. I didn't know. And I walked through the door, and I remember thinking to myself, what kind of man does that when he knows that he's driving his fiancée to his bridal shower?
Growing up as a kid, I was different. I was short, so I wasn't any good at sports. And I loved to learn, so I was a teacher's pet. And well, I dressed funny. But I think what seemed to annoy people the most was that I was always smiling, looking for the good things. So as a result, I was picked on, made fun of, bullied even. After years of public humiliation, I shrank from being the center of attention. I became a wallflower, always listening, rarely speaking. I turned into a people-pleasing chameleon, becoming whatever it was that I thought I needed to be.
See, out of that conversation I had with him, by realizing that this was something normal, by just sharing it and expressing myself, I was able to have that fear subside. And so when we express our fears to others, even if the fear is subconscious, sometimes it goes away. We want to feel it. We want to express it. Then we want to appreciate it. See, whether it's getting more prepared, having more confidence, or changing our strategy, fear can be an indicator for us to take certain action.
So have a fabulous moment. You've been an absolutely great group of people. We've really enjoyed performing for you. Thank you for coming.